Welcome to Seeing This, where we have a special episode for you where we are doing our Oscar picks. Erica, the feisty Pisces, is here with us. Adrian, the Gerber baby-faced assassin, Cedeno, is with us.
Hey, guys.
I'm Mamba Mike Ornelas, and let's just get into it. We had an intro and had about a minute in, and then we had Adrian get abducted by an alien. But we're in it now, baby. We're ready.
Disclaimer, he actually did not get abducted by an alien. I don't need anybody believing that.
Wi-Fi is like alien, technology.
Footage got scrambled before we could upload it. But we're doing the Oscars really quick. Our relationship with the Oscars. Are we familiar with it? Have we watched? Adrian, what do you got?
Not familiar. I've grown up watching maybe one or two, maybe three of like the opening monologues, maybe catch a couple speeches here and there, but we've never really sat and watched them, and never really paid attention. It's just not my thing. They don't really, they're not the people's choice, right?
Sure. The Waterboy doesn't get nominated.
No, not nearly enough. No.
You're out. Love it. Erica, how about you?
Yeah, this was a staple in our home. My mom loved watching the Oscars. Up until recently, we had previously discussed, when my parents aren't happy with the picks, or if they think somebody is just, winning over and over and over again, and people aren't being represented the right way, and yeah, it's just not so much anymore. I definitely like to tune in. I first of all gotta watch the big five, at
Sure.
least.
Sure.
And then if there's some other people that I'm super excited to see and are happy about them being at the Oscars, I'll watch it. But yeah, it used to be religiously watched in our house. We had to be home for the Oscars.
Are you going to watch with your folks this year? Do you think?
I'm probably not gonna watch with my folks this year. I'm just gonna end up watching it by myself.
You're absolutely not.
So
So-
I'll probably just do my homework, put the Oscars on in the background.
What's the date of the Oscars? Is it Sunday?
Sunday, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay.
So the Oscars, great. I know you did that on purpose so we could remind the listeners, viewers. Sunday,
You're welcome.
I believe the red carpet starts 2 or 3 o'clock Pacific time, and coming out of LA, and it will be streaming on Hulu if you want to stream.
Imagine being one of the first ones on the red carpet, and then the actual award show doesn't start till hella late. I would never show up on time.
I mean, honestly, that's probably the best, because then you pass all the crowd. You get top because you're the first person, no matter how level of a
You're on your feet all day. You're on your feet all day. And you think it's not that many people there. It's still berserk and crowded. Security is insane. It's
you're talking. I see. You're talking as a fan. I'm talking as if an actor.
yeah.
What did you mean, Erica?
No, I meant as an actor.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
would be if I was famous and I was
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
I'd be hella pissed to get there.
I just wouldn't go at all as a fan. I got the TV.
I'm thinking
right?
of
Right.
as a contract, as a camera guy, or as
Oh, sure.
running
Yeah.
wires, as the
Mhm.
crew production. I've been, a backup, or what do they call them in the background? An extra?
An extra. Yeah.
You're legit on your feet all day long, just hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
And it's not as fun as everybody made it out to be.
that baby face is made for camera, folks.
Mhm.
Let's jump into it. We have 23 categories, and we want to cover as much as we can. A disclaimer: we haven't all seen all of the movies. None of us have seen all of the movies, to be quite honest. But we're going to navigate as best we can. Adrian, maybe kick us off with the first category and the nominees we're going to cover.
Yes, sir. So do you want me to just run through the nominees, or are we going to discuss each one as we go?
Yeah.
Let's
So
just
I
run
think
through them, right?
maybe
Yeah.
run through them, and then I have a little quick description of what it is here that I can follow
Okay.
up with if that works.
Perfect. All right. So first category is animated short film. Which, before we start, what qualifies a short film as opposed to a regular film? Is there a time limit on this?
Excellent question. I would love these questions to be in the doc so I could have them ready, but I'm going to look and say time limit for Oscar shorts. I would imagine it's less than 40 minutes.
I believe
just
it's
off the top.
less.
40 minutes or less, baby.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was gonna say, I
perfect.
believe
Okay.
it's less than 40.
Yeah. So there you go.
Right on.
So,
Okay.
and
That was just an
what are-
honest question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, great question. Excellent question.
All right. So, first movie on nominated is Beautiful Men. Then In the Shadows of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck.
Yeah, love it. Did any of us see any of these?
No, unfortunately not.
No, neither did I. So this, I know this is the first one we're doing,
Yeah.
but I wanted to get this one out of the way. But just a quick description of each. Beautiful Men. Three brothers travel to Istanbul, Turkey for hair transplants, which is very popular voyage for people looking for that. I've come very comfortable with my lack of a hairline, so no tricky trip for me. In the
It
shadows.
suits you though.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thankfully, my head's somewhat symmetric.
Yeah, I could never shave my head, dude. I got a weird fucking
It's like the hills of San Francisco, or no?
worse.
Laugh. All right. So then, in the other one you mentioned, In the Shadow of the Cypress, it is a former captain suffering from PTSD tries to be a caring father. Sounds heavy. Magic Candies, which you mentioned, a young boy named Doug Dong Dong discovers a bag of magical candies. That sounds promising. And then
Like a great time.
like magical candies. Okay. Actors Mary, Billy Budd, and Fumbleton star. Sorry, this is Wander to Wonder. The next one. Sorry. Actors Mary, Billy Budd, and Fumbleton star in the '80s kids TV series. But when the creator of the show dies, they are left alone in the studio and start creating increasingly strange episodes. That sounds interesting. This says that it's on Vimeo, that one specifically. The rest aren't available to stream. And then Yuck. A young boy finds kissing both repulsive and intriguing in this coming-of-age story. So we got to pick one. Granted,
That's going to be your winner.
the last one, the
Yeah.
kissing one. Okay, Adrian, what do you think? Again, we're really picking, I think we're picking like just the description I read. Really.
Yeah, based off
Yeah.
of the description, I'd say probably Beautiful Men.
First one, the three brothers going to Istanbul for a hair transplant. You would. You would.
Not because of the hair transplant, but just because of the brothers. I think
Okay.
I think it's like a brotherhood thing. Like it is probably kind of deeper than what you think, and more of like their connection as brothers. Whether it's like a real pain, something like that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna still seek these out, and maybe we can give an update at some point of what we thought. How about this? You guys, really quick, on camera, rock, paper, scissors, and winner, we take your pick.
Okay, well, hold on. Rock, paper, and then scissors, right? Like you throw
Shoot.
on
1, 2,
scissors.
shoot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
1, 2,
thank-
1, 2, shoot. 1, 2, shoot.
They
Ready?
do, you guys do it the right way. Okay, ready?
And
Okay,
is
ready? 1, 2, shoot.
scissors and
I had
Erica,
scissors
two.
too.
Come this
Wait,
way.
hold on. I had scissors
framing.
too.
No controversy.
1, 2, shoot.
Okay.
I had that too.
1, 2, shoot.
Paper
She got
beats
me.
rock. Paper
She
beats
got
rock.
me.
All right.
We're going
So-
with yet.
We're going
Yuck.
with Yuck. Story about kissing. Okay. Adrian, next category.
Live action short film. Alien, Anuha, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
Excellent.
I liked I'm Not a Robot.
Did you get to watch some of these?
I got to watch. That was the one that I was like, I think I need to watch this.
Yeah.
I liked it, yeah.
Talk
That-
to it. What did talk
So
about?
that was live action? I watched it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really. I thought it was all like regular people. I didn't know she was really a robot. That
No,
was a regular person.
live action. It means
Like
it's
regular
not.
people. Yeah,
And
oh,
it's-
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not documentary. Live action is like a scripted with humans.
I
Or-
see.
I guess not human. But yeah, speak
I guess with not human.
speak to I'm Not a Robot, because I thought that one was really interesting.
No, 100% was really interesting. Kind of had me a little bit, it had me confused at the very beginning. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can kind of give the premise of the movie, right? So
Well, do you have the descriptions?
yeah, sure. Let me
So
read.
read the description so people
To
kind
play.
of get an idea
Okay.
what we're doing.
It gave me Ex Machina vibes.
Yeah,
Sure.
it definitely gave me Ex Machina vibes.
So a woman repeatedly fails a CAPTCHA test to prove that you're not a robot.
Yeah.
And she is a music producer named Laura, and she becomes obsessed with the disturbing question: could she be a robot? So that's the description of that
Yeah.
one. Um, Fascinating concept. The way
I
they,
love that.
Yeah, it
Like
was like
I
Terminator.
love yes, but like it kind of plays into like I think I liked it so much because it plays a little bit into like those conspiracy theories. Like how would we really know if we were in the Matrix right now? Like we wouldn't, right? We wouldn't until somebody would actually like break that barrier and figure
well,
that out. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson gave us like a 50% chance or whatever. But yeah, no, loved all of the questions it posed and like loved how it was that like obsessive nature that was she was just like, well, fuck. Like I like how could I know? You know what I mean? Like how would you ever really know
oh,
without maybe like cutting yourself open, you know what I mean, and seeing what's on the
I
inside.
want to talk like because I have questions about like what did you think about the ending? What did you know? So can we do spoilers? Because I do have questions. Like
so
man, that
so
was and I have specific questions because I watched it
let's
too.
let's do this. Let's run through this episode. We'll do a appendix when the episode's over for all kind of spoiler related discussion. This might be a long episode just because we have so many categories. So if we
Yeah,
have
we do have a lot.
everyone, we're gonna be here till tomorrow.
I
But
don't know
yeah.
that that one's gonna win, but I definitely liked that one a
So
lot.
what else did you guys see from there?
That was the only one I saw out of this list. There was a couple more I
Um,
saw, but they're not on this list.
Okay.
I don't remember what the name of it.
So we had Alien. So it's like Alien, but with the space between A and Lien.
That one.
I thought it was a lean, like a lean on a car.
I mean, it could. No,
That's how it's
wait.
spelled.
But I didn't get to watch that whole one, so I don't want to like.
Oh, you
I
didn't.
only got to
Okay.
watch a little bit of it, so I
I'll
don't want to
just
comment on
say.
it.
So I saw Alien or Eileen. I saw Anuja. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then I saw I'm Not a Robot. And of those three, I was most intrigued by I Am Not a Robot. Like just the
Yeah,
story. I wanted to spend more time in that world. Like I was really
I
curious.
was hoping like I was like upset that it was a short.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
was like ah.
And that's like a good job of a
Mhm.
short, you know.
Yeah.
Anusha was very it's slightly charming, slightly dark about sisters in a sweatshop, and one of which is incredibly like Rain Man smart with numbers, right?
Yeah.
But she's contemplating going to take a test for school, or do I just stay with my sister and work in the factory? And it kind of plays around with that. And then the Alien, I mean, it's the most relative to the United States right now with immigration and all the things that are happening. It focuses on ICE rates. Powerful. I think, okay, so I know we didn't all see these. I'd be open to either Alien because it's very prevalent right now.
I'd
But
have a feeling that they'd probably. That's what I said. I really liked I Am Not a Robot, but I think that they're probably gonna
yeah,
lean towards something like Alien.
so I'm gonna put Alien as our official scene this pick, but I'm gonna put a special note of like should have
That
won.
should have been.
Uh, and it's hard to say that because like
I haven't
Yeah.
even seen it, so I don't know. But I did like
yeah,
I'm Not a Robot. But
yeah,
Alien does sound interesting. It does sound like it fits with the time, like something I'd be interested in watching.
yeah, definitely check it out. So that one is actually available on Vimeo also. I think you might be able to catch it on YouTube. A lot of these, I'm Not a Robot, for example, is available on The New Yorker. I think they actually produced some of these, so that's why it's on there. And Anuja is on Netflix. That's where I was able to catch that. The Last Ranger and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, none of us got to see. So,
Yeah, I didn't have time to.
yeah, we'll see. But on to some more. These ones that are next. Adrian, what is the next one? Let's see.
Documentary short.
So before you go into the nominees, did you guys catch any of these?
Yeah.
I wanted to get all these out of the way that we're probably less seen by the mass majority of people. You know what I mean? They don't make it easy.
I saw one.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So go ahead. Do the
Okay,
nominees.
so documentary short film will go Death by Numbers, I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
And you saw which one?
I actually saw two. I saw Incident and Instruments of a Beating Heart.
What'd you think?
Uh, um,
Yeah.
so I messed up watching Incident because it gave us like a disclaimer at the beginning that most of it will be like without sound. So then I assumed, oh, okay, there's no sound. So I didn't realize that there was a mute button, and it's automatically when you start the movie, it was muted. So I watched the entire thing trying to watch the
Wow.
subtitles and like how different people are talking in different text boxes.
Interesting. What a fascinating way to watch that movie.
I watched it like if it was really from the security camera. And that was the interpretation I got until I had to rewatch it when I realized at the end that there was a mute button. And then I was like, oh, there's sound this whole time. So I rewatched it with sound. And I got to say, I liked it better without the sound because it definitely felt a little more like just surveillance video of that camera up on a pole.
So just a premise for you, Erica, and the listeners that haven't seen it. It's essentially all security footage or police
Body
cam
cameras, yeah.
body footage of a shooting by a police officer of a civilian. Ultimately, it happened in I think 2018, if I'm not mistaken, in
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago. Yeah. So, but the whole thing is done strictly through surveillance camera, body cam.
That's
And,
crazy.
and like the way it's edited is fascinating to kind of put it all together. It's incredibly upsetting because the police are doing everything they can to protect themselves, you know? So that's really interesting, Adrian, that you saw it all on mute because it's an interesting way to like absorb all of what's happening, even more so. It's more of a different visceral experience.
So the way they do it, it was like you have a main camera frame like on the top of the screen, and then like in the bottom left and then the bottom middle, bottom right was the screens, and then they kind of just filtered and switched. But each little screen was a different cop's body cam,
or
and
or
then,
a security camera or like
a security camera. The main camera was kind of the security bit
Got
footage.
it.
And I mean, the guy did time. The cop that shot the kid did time, so I wouldn't say that it was just or anything like that. So it fit in with the times, you know, especially with that time when, you know, police brutality and killing people was at an all-time high. Tensions were high.
Just wait.
It's rough. Yeah, it's rough.
It's something that's gone away, unfortunately.
No. And then Instruments of a Beating Heart.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I enjoyed seeing the different culture. And seeing like I was interested in like seeing how their schools were. Like all I hear is propaganda about, you know, China's better than us and Japan's better than us in schooling and their kids are so much more disciplined and this and that. So I really like was into watching how the school dynamic was. And it was cool. It was cool to see. I didn't think it was too much different than the US or from what I see, what I remember. There were some key differences that I think make all
Maybe
the
I
difference.
need to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially these little girls. I think they're what, like six, maybe
7 or 8. Yeah, they're first grade, so 7 years old.
And they're trying out for a song "Ode to Joy" to welcome the new class that are.
So it's the end of first grade. Yeah, no,
To
they're
welcome-
gonna be second graders, and so they're gonna welcome the next class of first graders with a song, like at their commemoration kind of thing.
So they have like tryouts to do each little instrument, and you see like the heartbreak when they don't get picked, or like the way, like Adrian said, the teacher is coming at them, or just you notice certain differences for sure. It's a very cute movie. I don't think it would be my pick for this one. And since we have so many to cover, let me just say I think Incident should win. Adrian, I imagine you're on board with that, with the two you watched.
Yeah, with the two I watched, it was impactful for sure.
Just really quick to go over the other ones. Death by Numbers is essentially about the Parkland school shooting. One of the survivors essentially wrote the movie and talks about confronting the shooter in court and just that whole process, what they went through. Very powerful. I'm Ready Warden is about an inmate that's on the death row and talks about the crime, owns it. We also hear from the victim's son, and it's kind of just the duality of the death sentence and what you think about
Yeah.
that. And then Instruments of a Beating Heart is the last one, or sorry, that's the one you mentioned,
That's the
Adrian.
one
Yeah.
I mentioned. The only girl in the orchestra is the last one.
Yeah, so Orin O'Brien was the first woman to be hired to play in the New York Philharmonic. She's a double bassist, and it's essentially like a reflection on her career now that she's retired. An older lady, but full of life. She looks like a cool hang. Erica, you would like her. Like, if you get a chance to check that out, you'd be like, hey,
My people.
she's cool people. All right, so we
She's
went.
a hippie, isn't she?
She's people. She's cool people. Okay, so that's Incident there. What do we have next, Adrian?
Documentary feature film. We have Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, Sugarcane.
So this is one that I didn't see any. I don't
Me
know if you
either.
guys know, right? Or Eric?
No, I didn't get to see any, but my parents, the first one you listed, the Black Box
Black Box Diaries.
Diaries, my parents watched that, and my mom was very sad
I
after that
can
one.
imagine.
Can you go through the summary?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it with them, so I'm not sure. So let's see what
Yeah.
What
you
I can
said
find.
about it.
So yeah, there's a few here, websites that I'm trying to get all this information for. So I know that the No Other Land is the documentary that was shot in Palestine with everything happening with Israel and Palestine, and it's also made with the Israeli that he met while he was there, and it's essentially documenting what's happening on the ground. From what I've heard from the research I've done, I haven't seen it, but I've heard things about the movie. It's not necessarily political; it's just factual. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's pushing an agenda per
Yeah,
se.
no propaganda.
It's just capturing the reality of what's happening. And what's interesting is, will the Academy buy that? As far as their voting goes.
I mean, that's what Civil War was supposed to do, right? It was supposed to be that kind of the movie Civil War was supposed to be that kind of like journalism kind of thing. Like we're just providing the facts.
But that one being like
an actual movie. Yeah.
A script. Documentaries are actual movies, Adrian.
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, I would think that that's something that is relevant and that the Academy would want to look at, right?
Hollywood will probably not pick that movie.
I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be a big statement if they did, because it's hard to even watch. Like, this one was trying to get distribution in the United States and got very limited theaters, and that's not on accident,
Yeah.
It would be I'm just like, I would be interested in watching it just based off of what it is, because I don't understand any of all the drama that's going on over there. I am oblivious. Like, I'm not oblivious to it. I'm very ignorant to it. Like, I don't know what all the beef is. Like, why can't we all have the same land? Like, it's all good, man.
Maybe check it out.
So I would want to check it out. I would be interested in it. So I would say right off the bat, like that sounds like a winner.
Yeah, I know some of these other ones. I definitely am still going to follow up on. I know Sugarcane was supposed to be very powerful movie. I'd like to Sugarcane.
That one does. I think I saw like a little preview on that one.
Yes. So this is the one that investigates abuse and missing children at an Indian residential school that ignites a reckoning. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, it was land up in Canada where there were like these native boarding schools and people just went missing. So I know that was one that was on my radar I wanted to check out. But
so it wasn't necessarily boarding schools for like, Native Americans that wanted to send their kids to get better education. It was more like concentration camps kind of a thing, right?
Right. But it wasn't like a publicly known wasn't in the public. It's just these are things that were happening, and it gets uncovered. That
Right. I have seen a quick little preview of that, and it looked
yeah.
really good. It looked intense.
So yeah, definitely documentaries. I'm doing a bad job. I try to watch more of these, and time got away this year. But we'll go with No Other Land, I think, just for the purpose of solidarity here. No Other Land documentary feature. All right, what do we have next, Adrian?
I would love nothing
Or go-
more than to see that movie win.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that'd be
Mhm.
incredible because then you get like the speech that comes with it too, right?
Well, and then it's like you can't really ignore it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
which is a huge problem. There's just people ignoring it or, you know, not wanting to address it. It's like, no, it's happening.
They're trying
This
to
is-
erase it from
Yeah.
existence. Like, hey, this didn't happen. We didn't do this atrocity and commit these crimes. Like, it's.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we see that with indigenous people as well. We want to pass judgment on a bunch of people when in reality, if our government would, they would, and they have.
Colonization and repression never sleeps, and neither should the resistance. All right. Next category. What do we got?
The next category is production design. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2. I was going to say Part 2. Nosferatu, Wicked, and Wicked. Wicked is the last one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've seen all these. Where are you guys at? Erica, which one you haven't seen, maybe?
I
think
just haven't seen Wicked.
I'm in the same boat.
Brutalist.
I haven't seen The Brutalist or Wicked.
I'm halfway through it.
Halfway through the Brutalist.
Yeah, I had to pause it.
It's a long movie.
Cool. Yeah,
I
for
started
starters,
it.
I have ADHD. That shit's fucking hard to sleep through to watch through long.
They had some of like the comments that the like anonymous Oscar voters, and some people said like it was too long and they just didn't watch. They just didn't watch
no,
it. Like,
it's so frustrating because I'd imagine as an actor too, like that's just a dream where you could get to tell the whole story and like the movie is exactly how long it needs to be to get through the story. But in reality, just with how society is today, like people really just don't want to wait through movies like that unless it's like got something to keep up and keep your heart rate going instead of like lulling it a little bit.
having seen all of it in the theater with the whole intermission experience, I'll say that it doesn't feel as long as it actually is. For as long as it is, it moves okay. We can touch on that one a little bit more probably in Best Picture, as it was a front runner at one time.
Yeah.
But for production design, we're talking about like the set, the location.
I really think, I mean, I haven't seen it. I'm really hoping for Nosferatu. Like, obviously, like there's just something deep inside me that wants a horror movie to win this. I've heard really great things about what they had to do for Wicked, and like they planted like what was it, like 8 million tulips or something like that. But like since tulips are different colors, like they all gestate differently, so like the timing to plant them so that they're all the same. Like I just heard that they did a lot of work, and for a movie like that where you needed a lot of CGI to be involved in it and for them to have practical sets, I actually think that one might win.
You didn't see Wicked, right, Adrian?
I have not seen Wicked.
No, yeah. So Wicked, I think you're right. We can put Wicked down as gonna win, and we'll do another side note for Nosferatu because I think that one should win because of not just the set and
production design.
Yeah. Because it's just like you believe you're in this gothic castle with fire, and just everything they do complements the lighting that's happening in that movie. But Wicked, it probably will win. I don't think it's going to win a lot.
I would say that maybe Wicked or Conclave would get this. Like, I feel like they want to give it to one of those two, or they want to give awards to one of these two movies, or both of them movies.
Why do you?
I don't know. I don't know what the Academy does because I don't watch it and pay attention. But it just feels like all the hype and hoopla that Wicked got being that it was, you know, a play that they converted into a movie, and this whole thing, it got a lot
Well,
of
a
hype.
book to a play to a movie.
Right, right. So it got a lot of hype.
That
But
much.
it got a
Yeah.
lot of, you know, super, like, I don't want to say supervision, but it's easily absorbed through multiple people, like kids to adults, right?
Lots.
Sure.
Yeah, a huge range of people that
Nosferatu is limited. Dune Part 2 probably had really good sets, and like it really made you
They're
feel
on
like you're in
location
this,
a lot. Yeah.
right. But it, again, long epic movie, or did people even get through all of it, and were they as into it as us sci-fi nerds? No, probably
Sure.
not. But something like Conclave or Wicked feel like that's something that they want to, you know, we need to give an
I can
award
see
to
it
them,
feels like a
so let's give
safe
them production.
choice.
Let's give them production
Yeah.
design. Let's give them best costumes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get to these other ones to see what we give them. I agree, though, Conclave could be in the running as well. Okay, next one. What do we got?
Costume design: A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
This is kind of tough.
The only one I
I
haven't seen is Wicked.
Okay.
want Nosferatu to win for this so bad. So bad. So bad.
Yeah, and it was authentic to, like, you know, the time,
Yeah.
how counts were looking.
So did
Yeah.
Gladiator, the original Gladiator, win for this category before?
What a ex! You just
Oh,
love
that's a good
these.
question because I could see that.
If it didn't win before, it shouldn't win now. I don't think. I
That's a
mean,
good point.
anything
That's a
was
good.
different.
I feel that. Yeah.
Well, things were different, just not better. I think is what is. I think you mean. I mean, let's be
I mean,
I
real.
know.
his
I know.
his
It's
armor
just
was the same. It was.
I know,
This
but
is costume design, so it's not production.
this is me. This is my problem with Hollywood right now. Stop giving us fucking sequels to classic movies like that. Just stop because you don't do any justice to the actors
Did
who
you
are
see it?
in that film. Yeah, I saw it.
Did you like it?
I mean, Paul Mescal is like one of the hottest men ever. Of course, I'm gonna watch him running around in his skirt all day. No, I did not like it.
Yeah, I mean, they just totally changed the very foundation of who Maximus was. Like, he's here
Yeah,
cheating on his wife. Like,
yeah.
there's just real
No,
weird stuff.
I mean,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
the only thing I'll say to that is like, let's just look at the times that it was. Infidelity was not that it wasn't a big deal, but it was very common. So while it is very possible that Maximus did have another love child or whatever, it's just stupid.
Sure,
It just didn't need to
sure,
be done, kind of
sure.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Historically, yes, accurate, but did it need to happen? Did we
The
need
whole
a
thing is
gladiator
he
too?
wanted his wife. Like, the whole like reason of his
Yeah,
living and being was like his wife and his
yeah,
kid.
his
Like,
wife
so
and kid.
yeah, it was terrible in my eyes.
That's tough beat. A costume design. Just a quick shout out also to A Complete Unknown. Did you end up? You must have seen that then, huh?
I
You
did.
did watch it after all.
I
And
did watch it. Yeah, I even looked the review on Letterboxd.
okay.
So it must have been. I don't know. I wasn't as aware of Bob Dylan as I thought. Like, I don't know what he talked like, but he mumbled apparently, because it sounded like Timothy was not moving his jaw and was talking out of the back of his throat the whole movie. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hard to understand some of the things he was saying. But the music was on point, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. Most documentaries and stuff like that I usually give 4 stars if they're really good. Biopic, yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I liked Edward Norton's role. It was really
Yeah.
good. He played
Also,
really well.
we'll get to him shortly.
Mhm.
But yeah, so let's go costumes. I think I'm on board with you, Erica, with Nosferatu.
Yeah. I think for me too, it's like, okay, we have a complete unknown. Okay, we knew what they wore, we knew all of that. You know what I mean? Same thing with Gladiator. We know what people in that era wore and stuff like that. I think like with not necessarily saying the same thing, like obviously like Nosferatu was happening during a time period, during an era, but it's it's that level of horror that like brings it to a new level, because not only do you have to like bring up these costumes, but like we said, we were really impressed with the lighting of the movie. So like the costumes in particular are gonna have to change around that. You know what I mean? You're gonna really have to focus on getting the perfect costumes on everybody.
The
So that way,
colors. Yeah.
you're using the light, and when you're using it, certain colors come up. It's dark, it's black and white, or it's gray at this point. Really, really, really hope they win.
So do you think they use like actual colored dresses to get the different shades of like black, because the whole movie's black and white, but not every
Black and white.
not all their clothing is like I guess like in the shadows, you know what I mean? Like I feel like they use different tones to get different
Yeah, so
shades of
like
shadows.
in one scene you could have like a really lighter gray to where it maybe like not like a heavy scene, versus when like it's dark, it's deep, or it's wispy because, she's being tempted, or, there's different things that you really have to take into play when it comes to horror movies, in my opinion, obviously. But
I love that costume design has sparked such granular detail to the color.
I was wondering.
Hey, they are the fucking backbone, dude.
Yeah,
They work
right.
so goddamn hard for those costumes and making them fit to the actors. They have to have multiples sometimes of certain things. They do a lot of fucking work. I have a lot of
Shit gets
respect.
ruined.
I
Yeah.
have, I have a lot of respect for costume design. Anybody in that field.
Shout out costume designers.
It's not easy either.
Oh, they're pushy and rude for sure.
Oh dear. You have you gotten a lot of fitting?
Like I said, I was an extra in a couple of movies. I know people, Mikey. I know people. I have a buddy that is, his uncle is a celebrity, and he put me in a couple of the movies of his as an extra for like WWE movies, like Ted 2. So yeah, I did get
Keep an eye
fitted
out.
for
Keep an eye
clothes.
out. Got to keep an eye out. Best
You never
extra.
know. Yep.
Okay, what do we got next?
We got makeup and hairstyling. A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked.
Erica, Opus.
Fuck. This is crazy, because as much as I want A Different Man to win, I think it's gonna go towards The Substance. Finally got around to watching it in a full sit down, and I was fucking impressed, dude. That shit's right up my alley.
It looks like real.
It.
It looks like real.
Loved it. I mean, that's like the difficult thing, because we see Sebastian Stan ripping off his face, and that was really crazy to look at and to watch. But
it almost looked like silicone. It almost looked like, he's stretching a silicone mask. You know what I mean?
Well, and then we get the similar stuff that happens in The Substance, and I had to look away.
Yeah. It was graphic.
I was like, oh, I gotta close my eyes for a second.
Adrian, did you
feel more? No.
Yeah.
I know, right? Gosh, still so stunning, dude. She's fucking gorgeous.
Absolutely. Did you feel the same way about the ending of The Substance as you did Alien Romulus, as far as it going next level? Or did this hit you?
Yeah,
It hit different. For sure, it hit different.
Yeah, I think the reason I felt that way towards Romulus is just because of how like nostalgic everything was, versus like this might not have been like, I don't know.
It was original.
It's a good movie. It was a pretty like, I don't want to say a perfect movie, but a perfect movie for me.
I went to Barnes and Nobles today just to see what they got at the Criterion section, and they also have other movies there, and I saw that they had The Substance out, and I got excited because it was like $20. I was like,
yeah,
a new movie, 20
done.
But they didn't have the Blu-ray; it was just DVD, and I'm that kind of jerk now. If I'm going to spend money on a movie, it's got to be cool. What am I going? I might as well stream it then. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Next, let's keep it. Oh, so we're going to go with
If you guys are down for The Substance,
yeah,
Substance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
All right, visual effects. We got Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wicked, and Wicked.
So 2 monkey movies here. Better Man was the monkey biopic of Robbie Williams, famous UK, very popular in the UK music artist. Didn't see it, so I can't speak to it. Just saw it from the trailer.
And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
They are not monkeys.
Yeah. Oh, apologies. 1 monkey movie and 1 ape movie.
Sir David Attenborough would be so mad at you right now.
Apologies, Mr. Attenborough. So visual effects, and off the bat, I would want to go with Alien Romulus.
I would love to go with Alien Romulus.
Because everything looks exactly as it should, for one thing. And it's a big one thing. And that's when we get the poorly de-aged, brought back to life. What was his name?
Oh, the android. Oh my God, dear.
So this is what we do. I set you guys.
This is why we don't ask Erica for names, because she never knows.
We set you up and then see Rook. So his name was Rook, the character, but it's Ian Holm, the actor who had passed away, and they brought him back for this, and it looks so separate from everything else in the movie.
It's wild because the actual robot didn't look bad, but when you see his face on like the TV or like the mother and then around his mouth, I'm like, oh, like how's they gonna do Bilbo like that?
And it's tough because like outside of that, this is a clear and front winner.
Yes.
But
so then you think what, Dune 2?
Yeah. I think Dune 2, it's got to win some technical awards. Like Dune 2 has the unfortunate disadvantage of coming out earlier in the year, so there's no recency bias. It's like the opposite, right?
Did Dune 1 win a bunch of awards?
Yeah. On the practical side, like these kind of
technical awards, yeah.
Technical awards, yeah. So if you guys are good, I'm gonna say our pick is Dune 2, but I'll do another little.
And then you just put it shouldn't be should have won. We're gonna be like crossed our fingers for this one to win.
Not mad if it wins.
Yeah, very happy if this one ends up winning.
Alien Romulus. We're not mad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Moving right along. Adrian, what's next?
We have Sound, A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
I don't think we have to spend too much time on this one, just for time's sake. But you think Wicked, huh? We'll go Wicked.
Or Complete Unknown?
One of those.
I think A Complete Unknown, like they did the record. Both of them actually did the actual singing while they're filming and recorded that as the audio. So everyone's actually singing. So I agree it's between those two.
Yeah,
to be able to capture that.
Two. You guys can pick between those two. I'll be fine with either one, but it's either gonna be Wicked or A Complete Unknown.
I would go A Complete Unknown.
I haven't seen Wicked.
I mean, just because they're actually doing like performances for people as they're making this movie, and to be able to get that sound right where it still feels like you're.
Well, the girls were live singing as well,
and
they were.
To be honest, the girls at least sounded better than Timothée Chalamet. I've been listening to a lot of Bob Dylan after watching that movie.
Michael,
I went and was listening.
Cynthia and Ariana are both two very great singers. I guarantee you they were singing better than Timothée.
Oh, listen, but that's my point, is that the sound department did such a great job that the actual execution isn't too far off. I'm down to put either one.
I would say either one of those would be fine with me.
I like The Complete Unknown.
Okay, there it is. Well, and we'll do Wicked as a
Wicked is, this might win. We might be mad about it.
We might be mad, but
no, not mad. Might be annoyed about it.
Next category.
All right, we have music, original score. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
So maybe Erica's. If you said you saw The Wild Robot, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You guys both have seen it, right? Yeah. So, does the music stand out to you?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually was a little bit upset that this one got recognized over Dune 2.
while Dune 2 wasn't qualified for some bullshit rules saying that Dune 1 is already the original score, so this wouldn't qualify. So, but whatever. I agree in that way.
It's a load of crap.
If you guys don't mind, I'll make an executive decision on this one only because
you can go ahead.
Only because you guys haven't seen it, and it's The Brutalist.
The Brutalist,
Yeah,
you know
I'm halfway through. You know what? I think I'd agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Like, it does a lot of things well, and there's some things I have issue with, but the score, there's no doubt about how
it makes you
forceful,
feel things. Yeah.
It's almost like an anthem of triumph and despair, which is much like the movie. So we'll do that then. The Brutalist for best score.
Who is nominated for that? Who wrote that score?
Oh, I got you right here. Daniel Blumberg.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he deserves it. he's brilliant. He's not as, I don't want to say not as popular as other people because he's had great movies that he's done, but definitely enjoy hearing him.
Yeah, I mean, there's always like the big ones, right? Like John Williams or Hans Zimmer, things of this.
John Williams. It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are for real nerds.
I got to see him. Well, yeah, I got to see him.
Oh, you know John Williams.
I probably repaired his bidet. Other than that, I don't know him. Other than that, the name would not ring a bell.
Star Wars.
I've gone to customers' houses and I'm like, what the heck do they do? And yeah,
Star
sure
Wars,
enough, they're
Indiana
winning awards
Jones,
as score.
The Godfather.
Yeah. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah,
we're gonna need a bigger boat for that day.
I got to see him at the Hollywood Bowl. Phenomenal, dude. Yeah. Phenomenal. Like, just absolutely unreal. If you ever have an opportunity to see a composer just in general, to like hear, and obviously I'm getting off track, but they put the movies on like in the background, like while they're doing it. Amazing.
Yeah, they not to go off track also, but since we're talking got to see Empire Strikes Back on the big A New Hope on the big screen with the orchestra, and like
nice.
It was just so awesome.
I want to do that with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, sure.
Oh bad.
Okay, so we're going The Brutalist for score. Next, Adrian.
Right. Oops, sorry. What is next? We have music, original song. So we have El Mal, which is from Emilia Perez. We have The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilia Perez, Never Too Late from Elton John, and that's it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a couple movies here I didn't see, including The 6888 and Elton John, Never Too Late, Emilia Perez, Sing Sing, and another Emilia Perez. So
Sing Sing's the only movie I watch, and I think it should win as many awards as possible. So
I agree.
I'll throw this out there on that.
I'm happy for us to put down the Sing Sing song, Like a Bird. You know, we're gonna do it because Perez.
Fuck you, Emilia Perez.
Yeah.
Not her, the movie.
Was she even real? I don't even think she's real.
I meant like the character, like not
just all of it.
Specifically, just that fucking movie.
I think in the reality of it all, Emilia Perez has so many nominations, but this might be one that it actually wins for El Mal. We'll see. Okay, let's keep it pushing.
All right, next one, film editing. We have Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked.
This one I'm kind of hoping Conclave wins.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is despite my disagreements with the movie and like not really liking it, like the suspense and the
And the nose breathing.
That's what throws you off.
Yeah, wait, maybe not. Maybe because the editors didn't edit any of that shit out.
Definitely not.
They did it on purpose. I think they did it on purpose. Yeah.
No, I just think that it's cut very well. Like that, like regardless, like I said, of how I felt about the movie, like the sequences and how they edited it and how they kind of like, the different angles that you get and the like the eavesdropping and like the secrets and stuff, that when secrets and stuff like that are coming out, editing is like so fucking important to make sure that like you're only seeing like one side at one point and then you're getting a big reveal at another point. While I hope Conclave really, really wins.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I think especially in like a thriller, like this isn't necessarily a who done it, it's a who's gonna win. But when
It's dramatic.
when you're
Yeah.
unveiling things like that, I think editing is key. I've seen some movies,
Mm.
like actually the Anuja short film that we talked about earlier. I didn't like the editing because like we get from one thing to another thing, and it's like there's something in the middle missing. And like when you have such a short period of time, or like details are
You
everything.
don't have time to come back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so we can go Conclave. I'm gonna put my not mad as Sean Baker for Honora. So Sean Baker does everything on his movies. He directs, he edits, I think he shoots some of the time. So for him to take all that on, and for Honora that has high pace, slower pace, and then just kind of like a on the edge of your seat till the ending, he does a good job. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wins there. And he did win Best Director at the Independent Spirit Awards, which recognizes independent films and filmmakers. Now, what do we have next?
All right. Cinematography, The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
I just want to say one thing. No knock to Maria per se. More of a knock to Netflix, because when I was looking on their, what is it, goddamn feed or whatever, it shows Maria, and like all the other Oscar nominated films, it says Oscar nominated. This is the only category Maria is nominated for, and it
doesn't have it on there?
No, it does. No, it
Oh.
does. I guess see, you're gonna get upset that it wasn't on there. I'm kind of upset because I was like, oh, what was this nominated? I don't even remember hearing about it being nominated. Oh, I see, cinematography. But again, didn't have enough time to check that one out. All that.
And you don't have enough time to talk smack about it having
Yeah,
an Oscar nomination.
yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not mad that it's nominated. It's just, yeah. Okay, so Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, Nosferatu. What do you guys think? So
The
looking at,
Brutalist.
yeah, huh?
As of now, because like I said, I haven't finished all of it. As of now, The Brutalist.
So let me ask, what does cinematography cover? Like that camera work and camera angles and stuff like that?
So the camera shot selection, the movement of the camera, the lighting of the camera, the shadows, like everything that you're seeing, the decisions on the visual palette outside of like costume design, production design. The actual what the camera is doing is cinematography. Like
I want Nosferatu. Like I really just desperately every single category that it's in, I want it to win.
I think,
but I think The Brutalist is probably going to be the one that takes it.
you know what? I do have beef with Maria getting nominated, because you know what's not nominated, and Adrian's going to agree with me that it should have been.
Waterboy.
It's too late for that one.
That's 30 years ago.
Nickel Boys.
Oh yeah.
Very unique.
I would definitely say that Nickel Boys should have had it, because that was, like you said, very unique. The perspective, it's literally you're looking at somebody's eyes, like out of their eyes of somebody talking to them, and then you don't know when it changes, and that's kind of like the whole premise of the movies, you know, which perspective you're looking at the end.
Yeah,
I
not
loved
nominated.
it. I loved it. It should be nominated for sure. The cinematography was something unique, and I loved it because of that cinematography.
Now we're gonna put as we are mad it's not nominated, Nickel Boys, in our little category here. Excellent. Okay, what do we have next?
All right. Writing, adapted screenplay. A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing. Oh, and Sing Sing. Sing Sing's the last one.
I should have bolded the last one there for you. So
Right. Thank you.
last one. So adapted versus original. Adapted is meaning that it's come from a book, it's come from a play, it's come from music, it's come from an original IP, something that
happened in real life, and
as well it can be. Whereas original is just a completely original script and idea. So for adapted,
I kind of want Wicked to win.
it's not even on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're not there.
I know. I would have wanted Wicked to win this one.
Why?
What?
Why?
Yeah, you're far off of what
Well,
we are.
well, I'm assuming neither of you have like read either of the stories.
I've watched the movie and the script that is tied to the movie for this nomination. Yeah, but like you can't take the story of Wicked. That's not what's nominated. This movie.
No, but you're saying adapted from what it originally was into the movie. This is adapted screenplay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I wish Wicked would have been nominated in this because of what it originally came from and how they adapted it into this film.
You think they did it well?
From the book to this?
Yeah.
From like the book to the play to this?
Correct.
Yeah, I think they did.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a long way to say you liked it, and I just didn't get it. You sure? Um, well, it's not nominated, so
Yeah, I know it's not nominated.
damn.
But I didn't see Sing Sing either. Like that was
Yeah.
one that
Sing Sing's incredible writing. It really is. I don't know if it'd be my pick because between that
And Nickel Boys.
Sing Sing, Nickel Boys, Conclave, I would say are my top three. And I would lean more. I think Conclave, to be honest, like just the way that they have so many different spinning plates at once. And if we're talking strictly the screenplay, which is a movie that's just about men convening and talking, you're relying a lot on the script. So I would say Conclave, but I'm open to.
I don't know, man. We're relying a lot on the script on all three of those movies that we just spoke
Sure.
about. Not just
Sure.
Conclave. Nickel Boys definitely relies on the script.
Sure.
You're getting multiple perspectives at different times. Like it's not the easiest writing, especially. I don't know. I would say Nickel Boys, but Sing
Let's
Sing,
do it.
Sing Sing's got me. Like I really enjoyed Sing Sing.
I feel like Nickel Boys is our middle ground.
Okay,
Like
let's go.
you lean Sing, I lean Conclave. Erica, we're gonna say you got us to Nickel Boys.
Nickel Boys.
Perfect. Okay, what's next?
Writing original screenplay.
Yeah.
We have Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance.
Kick my camera, sorry. So the only one here I haven't seen is September 5.
Yeah, me neither.
But for script,
Original screenplay.
so A Real Pain has been winning. Jesse Eisenberg has been winning.
For original screenplay?
Yeah, he's been winning awards at the Writers Guild. I think he also won at SAG.
I'll just say never been a fan of him. He just seems like he just plays himself in all of his movies. And I don't like
Eisenberg or Karen?
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay.
But I will say his comments about Emma Stone were just the fucking sweetest. Like that was so magical to see him.
Listen.
He just essentially said that she was somebody who always believed in him and always like took the time to acknowledge like what he was doing when he didn't really feel that, not that he wasn't getting like the acknowledgments, but like, when you feel like when you get like that imposter syndrome, you'd be like, am I really like doing something here? And the fact that like over the years that how their friendship has been and how she's just kind of like encouraged him and always been behind him. And then for him to like acknowledge that about a friend in Hollywood.
Is she the one from Zombieland?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where they both
that's where they linked up.
That's where their friendship started. Yeah.
Party.
My birthday coming up, you guys.
So A Real Pain's been winning. I would actually go with.
I would like to see Honora. I would really like to see Honora win this one, but I think you guys with A Real Pain, I think that's where it might be headed.
Well, it's
not the substance. So I understand like original screenplay is more like the actual like dialogue and writing in the sense, but it's not necessarily like the idea, because Substance was a very unique idea that I imagine the writing for that is incredibly tough.
Have you seen Honora?
I have not seen Honora.
Yeah,
I think it's
Brutalist, but The substance was
Yeah.
very unique to me. Like I had never seen anything like it. And so I would say it had good messaging all the way around, and that would be for me screenplay. But I don't know. Is there a different category for that, or is that
Well,
something different?
we already gave the substance to, I think, makeup and hair. So I mean, it's represented.
Is there another category for like instead of like original screenplay? Is there like messaging, overall messaging, or like moral of the story?
No.
Best moral of the story goes
Plot.
to.
Original plot. Like I don't know.
Honestly, that's not too bad of an idea. So
Mix it up a little bit,
let's
Oscars.
let's do this. I'm gonna put a Nora, and then I'll
Mm.
put a not mad if who'd you say? You want?
Substance.
Substance. The substance. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the substance have a big night.
I'd love to see all of my horror movies in there kind of get their justice.
Coralie Farge, the director, writer of The Substance, going up against a lot of men. The only other woman in the writing is Mona. Sorry, what was her name? Mona Fastvold, who is married to Brady Corbet, and they both wrote The Brutalist. But nonetheless, let's see what happens. Next category.
Next category: animated feature film. We have
Go.
Flow,
Woo!
Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Fowl, and The Wild Robot.
Vengeance Most Foul. Wallace and Gromit.
Sorry. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance, Most Foul, and The Wild Robot.
Excellent. So I saw all these except Wallace and Gromit, and
It's just so tough because Wallace and Gromit that's like such a classic.
I mean, let's be real. Flo's winning, right?
I hope so. I
Really?
really hope so.
I don't know. Even when we went through Flow on our thing, we talked about this particular scenario, and we thought The Wild Robot may take it. So
I
like The Wild Robot.
I'm gonna rescind that. I'm gonna redact it. We don't want to.
And you're gonna go with Flow.
Seeing everything as like almost everything. I think the only one I haven't watched is Memoirs of a Snail.
I told Eric, hey, let's watch Memoirs of a Snail. It's nominated. Oh, it looks like a story about a snail.
Looked sad. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think Flo might actually I'd like to see it win. I think it has an actual decent shot amongst all of those. It's tough because you have like The Familiar, which is Inside Out, which is The Wild Robot, very familiar animation that we come across. So I don't know. It's definitely difficult, and I liked that Flow was different. And
does the Academy just go for different?
No, typically the Academy will go for what's familiar,
like The Wild Robot.
One thing to consider is that Flow is also nominated for Best International Film. That's the only animated film.
So it'd probably win for international film kind of a thing.
No,
not necessarily. I think it would have a better opportunity winning on the animated and then not winning in the foreign.
Gotcha.
Live action in the international. But what a great segue to what's our next category?
International feature film. We have I'm Still Here from Brazil. We have The Girl with the Needle, Denmark. We have Emilia Perez, France. And we have The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany. One more, Flow from Latvia.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. The only one I didn't see was The Seed of a Sacred Fig. It looked really interesting from the trailer. I found one of Adrian's pirate ships to watch it on, but the subtitle captions weren't linked, so there's no way I'm going to watch that movie without it being
All you got to do is turn them off and then turn it back on.
I only set sail once, and once I see a hole in the ship, I'm out. But I think it's going to be I'm Still Here. I know you guys haven't had a chance to see that one yet. It came out late February, I think, like Valentine's Day, maybe even. It's an incredibly touching, intimate story about the dictatorship in Brazil and the kidnappings that would happen, and the story of one woman holding the house together
while her husband's gone.
While her husband's been taken and she doesn't know where, what, why, whatever. They have 5 kids. Everyone in this movie is exceptionally strong. The kids, the adults, Fernanda Torres, who we'll talk about a little bit later in another category, is incredible. I've gone down a rabbit hole since watching that movie of Brazilian films. You guys are going to laugh. I didn't mean to bring this with me, like, to show for this, but at Barnes & Noble, I'm trying to learn some Portuguese here. That's how far down this movie has sent me. I think I've watched 3 other movies by Walter Salles. Motorcycle Diaries. Have you guys seen Motorcycle Diaries?
Mm-mm.
No?
So is that about Che Guevara?
The Motorcycle Diaries, yeah. It's like him becoming...
I read the book.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just him touring like on a motorcycle across country up to Peru or Argentina or something.
Yeah. Going across America.
Across the continent.
Discovering
his political journey, and he was like a nurse or a doctor or something. Like, yeah. That was a good book.
Same director. So I've since watched a couple more of his. I would just rented another one I got to watch. But nonetheless, I say all that. That's how strong I'm Still Here is.
We'll trust you.
I hope you guys get a chance to watch that. I have a couple potential guest hosts from Brazil that have watched the movie. I'd love for us all to talk about that, just because I think it makes for a great conversation. But we'll see. Nonetheless, I'm Still Here. I'm going to take there again. No, Emilia Perez wins yet.
All right, next category, actress in a supporting role. We got
the gloves are coming off.
We're doing the Griffey style now. Right.
All right, we got Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande, Wicked, Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez.
Wow.
You know who I think's gonna win this one?
I mean, there's only 2 that I've seen, and it would be Isabella Rossellini or Monica Barbaro. But I don't know which one Monica Barbaro was. Was she Joan Baez? Joan Baez? Yeah.
It's between Zoe Saldana and Isabella Rossellini.
I agree, and I think it's going to be Zoe. I think this is where Emilia...
Never mad if Zoe Saldana is up on stage.
Me neither.
She's been up a lot. She's been winning at all the other award shows. This is like, I think, the only real...
That's my franchise girl.
Zoe?
Yeah, she's been in both billion-dollar franchise movies.
That's right.
Avatar and Endgame.
Well, I hope that she's getting taken care of financially.
Or Infinity War, my bad.
Okay, so Zoe, I think, pretty...
Yeah, I think she's going to take it.
She's been winning everything already, so there it is. Okay, next.
Actor in a supporting role. Yura Borisov in Anora, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice.
So I'll talk, just because we haven't talked about it yet. Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice is incredibly good. He gets a lot of shit because of how serious his performances are and how serious he takes his work. End of the day, though, his product is the proof in the pudding, if you will.
Yeah.
It
speaks for itself.
Him in The Apprentice, some could say is another like strong character, much like Kendall Roy from Succession, but it's different. It's different and very impactful. And he's been getting outshunned by who's probably going to win, his Succession co-star, Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain.
Yeah.
Which honestly, if those were my 2 options, I'm going Jeremy Strong. I think The Apprentice was good and he was good in that. But Kieran Culkin, I think he's the only one that's actually swept this category across all the award ceremonies.
I would like to see Edward Norton at A Complete Unknown. He did really good.
Me too.
But yeah, I would understand them going after Kieran Culkin for sure.
Yeah, so we'll do Kieran, and we'll put our boy Edward Norton in the We're Not Mad section here. Okay, only 4 left.
So next category, we have actress in a leading role. We have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. We have Carla Sofia Gascon, Emilia Perez. Mikey Madison in Anora. Demi Moore in the Substance, and Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here.
Again, shout out Fernanda Torres. Her mother was in the movie as well. Famous actress to shout out. She is the dark horse. Like, I think this is a 2-person race between Demi Moore and Mikey Madison. And Fernanda Torres is the far slim chance of winning, but it'd be incredible. But I don't know. Erica, you've seen both. Where would you go? Demi or Mikey?
I think Demi's gonna win.
Yeah.
Demi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mikey did
Now,
win
by
at the
any
BAFTAs.
chance, has Demi ever won an Oscar?
She has not.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be her comeback.
This is her It's Time
Yeah.
Oscar. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, she's great. I mean, obviously, she had to be physically vulnerable through a lot of the movie, as did Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
2 very strong roles there. But yeah, I agree. Demi's been winning just about everything. Fernanda Torres did win 1 award, a Golden Globe, and then Mikey Madison won a BAFTA, but Demi Moore's won everything else, so we'll go there. Okay, next.
Actor in a leading role. We have Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet, a complete unknown, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Rafe Fiennes, Conclave, and Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice.
This is a tough one.
I know. You know what?
This
is. I'm actually really impressed because sometimes you see this category specifically where it's very obvious, like, oh, that performance was great. But we kind of go across the board with these people, and there is not really a clear winner in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, but I wouldn't mind seeing Coleman Domingo. Like, has he won?
No,
Has he
I
won one
would
before?
love for him to win. No, I would love for him to win.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
I would also love Sebastian Stan to win. That's just because, like, that he holds a very dear place in my heart. Just
he was great
amongst a lot of movies and shows that I've watched in my time, and I'd love to see him win. I wish he was nominated for A Different Man. I'm not saying that his performance in The Apprentice wasn't good because it was stunning. Like, he's very fucking talented. But like we said, like, he's up against a lot of good people this year.
I think
a lot of good performances.
I think this year has the slimmest margins of performances, like difference in performances as far as quality and talent. Adrian Brody has won some of the awards that he's been the favorite from all the award ceremonies until our boy Timothée was chosen at the SAG Awards among his peers as the best actor.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say on behalf of Seeing This, we go Timothée, but I don't know if we're all good with that.
Would you pick him compared to the other people's performances? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
You'd go who? Sebastian Stan?
I would take Coleman Domingo and Sebastian Stan before I took Timothée.
Okay. And just to be clear, neither of them have any momentum going into this as far as a chance of winning, but we still want to put them as like they're our champion, which I'm okay with.
I think Timothée did a really good job acting, like taking on that role.
They're not going to win.
You don't think
Sebastian
Stan would win, even though he won the Golden Globe? Even though it was a different movie.
A different role.
Yeah, a different movie.
But he was nominated for both.
No, I don't think he's going to win. It's going to be Adrian Brody, Timothée Chalamet, I think.
Then I think Adrian Brody's going to beat out Timothée.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Unfortunately, like, if it was up to those two, I would pick Timothée. But
I think everybody's hot on Timothée right now, and they're going to give it to him.
I'll speak on behalf of the Academy and how I know that they vote, and we're probably going to get an Adrian Brody.
The beautiful irony of it all is that if Timothée would win, he would be the youngest actor to win a Best Lead Role Academy Award.
Oh, that would be so sick.
Dethroning Adrian Brody as his... he won his youngest for the pianist. Pianist. Okay, so I'm gonna do Adrian Brody, but I'm putting Timmy as a we're rooting for. I'm rooting for Timmy. And listen,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on
don't
that
put it
limb and say
down. What
Timmy's
the
gonna
fuck?
win. I'm gonna say Timmy's
I'm
gonna
with
win.
it. I hear you. Let's see.
I think he has a
Again,
lot of traction. I think I know Adrian Brody is like the favorite because he's won it as the youngest, and I feel like Adrian Brody is like the Academy's poster boy. You know what I mean?
like that's what they look for like a leading man performance kind of thing.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think you're necessarily wrong. Yeah, it's. I think this category will determine a lot of what direction the Academy's going. Here forward, because you're right. I think typically Adrian Brody would be the obvious pick, but let's see. 2 left to go.
Directing, we have Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez, Sean Baker, Honora, Brady Corbet, The Brutalist, Coralie Farget, The Substance, and James Mangold, A Complete Unknown.
So when you guys think of directing, like what goes into that? Like how can you see a director on screen as far as their contributions? Is there anything you look for?
Yeah, like when the actors look comfortable in their role. You know what I mean? Because it means that the director trusts them to give a good performance. A good director is somebody who, in my opinion, does not have to give you much. Like, you know exactly what to expect for them. And if it's not up to their standards, they can give you feedback, and then you turn around and you're like, it's good feedback, it's comfortable, it's stuff like that.
Yeah,
I would really love to see Sean Baker win this one.
I agree.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that would have my pick.
Adrian, any thoughts?
So as far as like when you ask what do I look at for directing, like a director should direct as in the whole show and the whole shebang. So when they're out on assignment, like in someplace foreign trying to film, I look at that stuff like, okay, well, how many different places did they have to go? And I do that just by like the scenery of the movie. Like, okay, is this all filmed in the same location or is it going different locations? So like kind of like the difficulty of
The
the
scale
scale of the production, as well as the difficulty of like a team. Like I think of sports teams, a manager is managing all these egos. He's not managing the game. He's not managing the camera and stuff like that. It's more managing egos. And so the more star-studded, I imagine, the harder and the more difficult for a director. Even though the acting talent may be up to par, it's just managing the egos between all those roles. So that's kind of the stuff I look for as far as if there's a lot of like big name actors and how they went about their business. Did they all get screen time? Are they all on assignment, and are they all in scenes together? Stuff like that is what I look for as far as the director.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're both right, and like it's such you're talking about managing egos. I mean, your director's got to do that and get a movie made, So
And
like
have his own
Yeah.
ego.
and
you know?
have his own ego and like his own vision
Mhm.
and collaborate with people to get that vision across. So like you guys, I think being able to have an auteur perspective, and you can see a style that a director has. You may not notice it on a first viewing unless it's very different, but after you've seen a couple movies from a director like Sean Baker has a very specific style. It's very grounded in reality. The actors are often amateur or newer, because he wants to get that kind of grit. So yeah, all that to say,
That's what I love about it, though.
yeah, I
I
agree.
think that's what I like seeing his movies over and over again is that the performances that were done in that movie were amazing, right? So when you know that about the director and how he brings in like these young actors, sometimes often unknown to, Hollywood and the big screen and like really big movies, and then for them to put on a performance like that, to me, that shows good directing. That shows that they were comfortable with what he was telling him, what he wanted from the film. He had confidence in the way that they were going to act. Like, I really loved it.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you guys are good, we'll do Sean Baker, but Coralie Farget of The Substance
Yes.
would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like it historically, a lot of women don't get nominated for a
Mhm.
director, So for her to get both a writing and a director nomination,
Yeah.
if she could bully the boys, it'd be a cool
Yeah,
historical
I would
moment.
love to see her.
All right, now for our big award.
Dun, dun, dun.
Best Picture. We have Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
Sorry, I know we've discussed this. Am I the only one that's seen Emilia Perez?
Yes.
No, I have.
You did see it. You did see it. Okay. I don't understand how this was nominated. Every turn that happens in this movie is a what the fuck why turn decision that you hope pays off later. And granted, it's kind of being it's intentionally being a different provocative movie, but it's so poorly done that unless they leaned into it and they're just like having fun and you weren't marginalizing communities,
Yeah.
Multiple communities.
then maybe you could have a fun time because it's like a fun bad movie. But this movie takes itself so seriously. It's like thinks it's fucking prestige shit.
So
I
I heard like a take, and I thought it was a hot take because maybe it wins because it's something that could unite the country. In the sense that
because we all hate it.
Everybody can hate it evenly. Like whether you're a conservative, you're gonna hate it, and for all the same reasons that if you're liberal, you're gonna hate.
There's probably not a lot of conservatives who have even watched this movie.
They won't even give it a try, right?
Yeah,
for sure. They didn't like the Kendrick halftime show, and they didn't watch Emilia Perez. So I just wanted to bring up Emilia Perez because we didn't ever do like a real deep dive on that one, for said reasons. But it had a lot of steam, and then all the controversy with Sofia Garçon and her takes on communities really deflated that momentum. So Best Picture, I think, comes down to Honora, The Brutalist, or a sneaky Conclave.
I don't know if Conclave is gonna be sneaky.
You think it's like a front runner?
Unfortunately, I do. Like I said,
because
regardless
the Pope's not well, so
the Pope's dying.
So
yeah,
Best Picture is like
best movie
all around,
like the best movie, all
the best
around
movie
what
of the year.
you think was just so well done.
I mean, they were all well done. At least all the ones that I've seen.
Sure.
But
Sure.
to be honest,
hold on.
the one was probably
regardless
Nickel Boys.
If you haven't seen Emilia Perez,
I haven't.
regardless, we're just gonna let you
That's
say
fine,
that it was
yeah.
poorly done. Like you're allowed to say that regardless if you saw it. We're giving you the okay.
So, I mean, out of all these, I've seen majority of them. I want to see Nickel Boys win. To be honest, that was my favorite movie out of all this list.
I like it.
I really
like
enjoyed Conclave. I liked Dune Part 2. A Complete Unknown was well done. I haven't seen
I'm
Honora,
silently
The
hoping
Brutalist.
for The Substance to just fuck everybody off in this category.
The Substance is a really good movie. I'm sure I'm Still Here is good, but man, Nickel Boys was just something different, and it left me like it's similar to Incident, like just the corruption and just like the shittiness of the society we live in, and the man holding us down and oppression and stuff. Like it really struck a chord, and I thought that was the best movie.
I think if the choice was what direction do we want to see the Academy go in, Nickel Boys, like for sure, 100%.
But that's not what the Academy's about.
I mean, it just hasn't had enough steam in anything really, like not probably a lot of voters didn't even see it. I don't know,
Then who's voting? What the hell?
I hear you. I mean,
exactly.
That's the online
podcast, and we're watching these movies,
Hold on, time out real quick.
100%.
Because Adrian, you've hit it. You absolutely hit it on the nail, especially for someone who does not watch the Oscars. Who the fuck is voting for this?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not diverse enough. There's not enough diversity, even in the voting aspect of it. And that's why it gets really frustrating for people to like see movies like Amelia Perez being nominated for this, because it's like, well, who was recommending this? Because in reality, like, I've heard nothing but bad things from everybody who's watched it. I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was
So
just a little bit
who
too
really does
pushy.
who really does vote? Like,
There's a lot of different Academy members, right? So it can be from various casting crew of
so
Hollywood,
when you say
internet,
Academy members, you mean like in the union?
more or less, yeah.
That's a similar way to like state that, yeah, like a union of people, like a board, and they all like
And you're
vote.
Academy members, so all active members of the Academy can vote online.
So
Which again I know is broad,
so
but
if you pay into SAG, into the union, you essentially have a vote.
so it's a little different. So SAG is like you get a SAG card once you start acting, like once you get your like first
Right. You
like
buy
on
into the union.
roll. Yeah, correct. The Academy might be a little different. Academy Awards, how to be a member. You know, we're gonna do it. We've been on this episode for this long. We're gonna get you all the answers. To become a member of the Academy Awards, also known as the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science, you can only be invited by the Board of Governors, which means
Yeah, I was gonna say it
you
has to be invite only.
have to be sponsored by 2 Academy Board members.
Yeah.
So that ain't us, at least not yet.
So like that, so like Adrian, like that's like the frustrating part, right? So say you just have like, a bunch of old white men.
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
Hollywood
Let's just
majority
say
of a
if you
group.
have an academy that's typically white men, they're gonna be more attracted to stories that relate to them. That's science, buddy. That's across the board.
so who are we picking?
Nickel Boys.
I don't think it's gonna win. I really don't think Nickel Boy's gonna win.
I
I think
didn't
Conclave
realize
is
that's what
gonna
we
be
were
the
picking
winner.
for the ones that we thought we were gonna win. I thought we were picking like the ones
Well,
that should.
It's like a blend. It's like
It's a blend.
Um,
I think Conclave is gonna win. Either that or the Brutalist. As weird as that sounds, I think either of those two are gonna win. Yeah.
we
so
can't split the difference and do an or. Okay.
okay,
Or how about this one
let
for
me
this
ask you one
last
more thing.
category?
Hold on, before we
Since
go there, let me ask you one more thing.
Sure.
Is there an agenda that where like the board can put out their votes and then be like, oh, the Brutalist, Adrian Brody gets, best
So,
actor, so let's give best picture to somebody else?
no. So great question actually that I meant to touch on. So the way the voting works for the Academy Awards is there's a term for it, but it's essentially like staggered voting. Like, who's your number 1 pick? You get that many points. Who's your number 2 pick? That gets so many points. So tally up the total.
think
Is
of it
who's
like
gonna
as a
be like
tournament. If you have a win, tie, and a loss, right? So like a
you're
loss
such a soccer
would
player.
I know.
It's just like the Hall of Fame voting, like to get into the
Yes,
Hall of Fame.
Same idea. Yeah.
exactly like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So because of that, the best movie may not win. Like the third or second best might, because it has the most high tier votes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I think because of this kind of voting, Conclave might be the most like well-rounded. Everyone can get behind it.
It sounds
I
like
think
we
you're
should
gonna.
we should
I
pick
think like
Conclave
that,
then.
and I think that movie is just essentially gonna be on everybody's top 3 list, kind of idea. Like so, like you were saying, like cumulatively, I think a lot of people are gonna have that movie on.
Let's lock it in. It was one of the episodes we covered. So we're keeping it real with Conclave as our pick. I'm going to put here Nickel Boys, Honora, The Substance.
Substance.
The Substance. Just go down the line of all the movies.
Well,
Okay.
and too,
I'm still
Adrian,
here.
they've like changed
Still
it. So
here.
like this is a lot of movies for this category. It has not traditionally been this many movies. They're trying to add more to it.
How
Mark
many
my
people
words.
vote?
It's a lot.
Oh, I don't know
It's a
how many
lot.
people
Like a
are
couple
part of the
hundred
Academy.
kind of thing?
I'll tell you right now. It looks like there are nearly 9,500 members of
Yeah.
the Academy of Motion Picture
Wow.
Arts Science. So it's a lot of votes, and they ain't coming from us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to do a really quick recap, and then we're getting out of here. What a long episode. Animated short. We went with Yuck. We haven't seen it, but we're going to watch it. Live action short. We went with Lien. Watch it if you haven't seen it. It's happening as we speak. Families are being impacted. Documentary short. Incident. Also happening as we speak, impacting families. Police not being held accountable. Watch it. Very powerful. You might want to watch the whole thing on mute if you want to have Adrian's experience. Documentary feature length. Unfortunately, we didn't see any of these, but No Other Land seems to be incredibly relevant, as are the other ones. But if we have to pick one, we'll go with No Other Land. Production design, Wicked. It didn't look like Oz that I grew up with, but nonetheless, they did a good job. Costume design, Nosferatu. That's Erica's powerhouse there. We're rooting for that one. The Substance for makeup and hair. I think that's a good choice there. I think we got that one pretty good. Visual effects, Dune 2. Sound, a complete unknown. But might go to Wicked. We'll see. Score, The Brutalist. Best song, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, but El Mal from Amelia Perez might end up winning. Editing. We went Conclave. But we also mentioned it'd be nice to see if Sean Baker won with Anora. Cinematography, The Brutalist. Would love to see Nickel Boys as a snub that didn't even get nominated because Netflix had to put a nominee goddamn banner on it. Anyway, sorry. Writing adapted, Nickel Boys we picked as a winner. That'd be, honestly, if Nickel Boys can get one and it's in adapted, I'd take it. Writing original screenplay, we went with Sean Baker and Anora. Would it be great if Coralie Farge won for The Substance? Animated feature. We converted to Flow. Adrian's still on the wild robot train, but it could win. It could win. International feature. Everybody, please go see I'm Still Here. Reach out to me. Let's talk about it. I want to talk about that movie. I can't get enough of it.
And then soon he will also talk to you about it in Portuguese.
I'm working on it. Give me some time. Chapter 1. Bom dia. Supporting actress. We went Zoe Saldana. She is just crushing it in every awards race. Supporting actor, Kieran Culkin, because he's killing it in every awards race. But if Edward Norton could pull it off for Pete Seeger, that'd be great. Lead actress, Demi Moore. I'm on an island here, but I'm going to say Mikey Madison. Let's see.
Yeah.
Lead actor, Adrian Brody. But I think we'd all prefer to have Timmy.
Don't say all.
No? You'd rather have... You want... Yeah, I guess so. Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Best director. We're going Sean Baker with Anora. But again, if Coralie Farge can beat up on the boys and take it, that'd be incredible.
I would love to see Substance just sweep in every category that they're in.
Let's see.
I know.
Conclave gets the big prize with Best Picture. It won Best Ensemble at the SAGs, which is essentially the same idea. But we'd be happy if Nickel Boys, Anora, The Substance, or I'm Still Here won. So let's see what happens. Thank you guys for listening to this bonus episode. We will have the Oscars. We won't have, but Hulu will have the Oscars on Sunday. I believe Red Carpet is at 3 p.m. Don't quote me on that. Look it up. But that's it for myself, Erica, and Adrian. Thank you for listening. Check out our socials, seeingthis.pod, Seeing This Pod. We said it. It's on all the websites, seeingthispod.com. Check it out. Click, follow, subscribe. Click. What do you do if you click? I guess let's just play. Like, follow, and subscribe. And we will see you guys post-Oscars to have a quick debrief and talk about our next movie. Till then, stay safe.